Well, I'm SeptumSin of SeptumSin versus the World. I'm here with my co-host, Kotobuki Jake, right over there.
Right.
And we're here to show you what we got.
Yeah.
Show me what you got. I want to see what you got. Oh boy.
So when we do these lives, we actually can have that like right there. I made sure it was queued up this time. So I'm here with Ozzy in my lap. You can probably see his ear.
Hi, Ozzy.
And today we put up a pickup. I set the pickup number because it's the exact number of Christmas or holiday themed films I had left in my pickups. I have a New Year's resolution, which is to finish all the pickup in my collection that year.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing a lot of massive pickup streams as the year goes by in 2026. But my hope is to do that because when I want to rearrange my collection, I want to make sure I get it all there together and not have a bunch of pickups sitting there, either folded down or like in a separate section. I just want them all right there. Watched, unwatched, and just a few holdouts. Right, little kitten. Yeah. So I know Jake does not have that many holiday ones. I don't know if you were able to pull any.
Honestly, I forgot to look. I don't think any of these are holiday themed. I don't think they are. But there's probably some holidays in a couple of them.
Well, if anything, I think that I have enough for all of us.
Okay.
So I guess we'll get started. I guess you want to start us off? Actually, yeah, you start us off so we'll end on a Christmas themed film.
Sure, I can do that.
Oh, and boop, there you go.
So I'm going to start off with one that is a little bit of an odd one out because it's, I think, the only pickup I'll be doing that has no connection to existing items in the collection. Let's put it that way. And it does have a connection to recent headlines that we've seen. Now, of course, the start of the week, we saw the death of a beloved individual under extraordinarily tragic circumstances. And certain responses to Rob Reiner's passing were regrettable, to put it as kindly as possible. But strangely, this
was...
What's that?
Inappropriate.
Yes, very much. You could even say that the response was inconceivable. But it's not the first hot take we've gotten this month that ruffled a lot of feathers. Earlier in the month, Quentin Tarantino shared some of his opinions, and some of them were pretty rough. And one individual in particular, well, three people he singled out. He singled out Owen Wilson. He singled out Matthew Lillard, but he really went to town on Paul Dano. And Lillard in particular was like, why me? But I laughed, but it really wasn't funny. It's like Tarantino, he's talented, but he should get over himself. But I happened to have something sitting in the pile, and I was like, this is a good time to put it forward. It's a mini-series co-starring Mr. Dano, a relatively recent mini-series take on the famed novel War and Peace.
Ooh.
You've got Paul Dano, Lily James, and James Norton starring in, obviously, an English language remake of the story. BBC production. I have to admit, reluctantly, based on the enormous novel by Tolstoy. I have to admit, reluctantly, as a student of literature and of film, I have never seen nor read War and Peace. And I don't know how this version is supposed to stack up to the others. Although, if I remember correctly, I think it was up for a bunch of Golden Globes. But I saw this and I was like, given the recent kerfuffle over Mr. Dano, I was like, I need to go ahead and present this. It was a library pickup. It was really cheap pickup. No skin off my back if it turns out to be not that great, although it's 357 minutes, so there's definitely some time involved in watching this. Personally, I think Dano is a pretty good actor. I thought he was great as Brian Wilson in Love and Mercy, and he's had a couple good solid roles. I think this could be an interesting adaptation. I'm glad to have it in the collection, and I look forward to watching it probably in 2, 3, 4 years whenever I get around to it.
Well, I mean, probably it's more exciting than the book was. It's a light read, but
yeah, especially in the original Russian.
I have read the translated English version of the novel because they required us to for school.
How many years did that take you?
I was reading it for school, so I was reading it to just get the gist out of it and not to try and enjoy it, which was fine because enjoy War and Peace don't tend to go in the same sentence. It was long, a lot of characters, a lot of characters. Matter of fact, so many. If you've ever have you ever read one of those books where they have so many characters and you're like, I can't keep up with them all. You have to kind of draw a chart to remember them all. That's what War and Peace is like. So I only have 3 items on this list are upgrades. Not necessarily space savers, but upgrades. And the rest are new to the collection. Well, new being a relative term. Being a lot of these I picked up a long time ago. They went in my pickup group and then never got to show them on the pickups. So we'll start off with one I need to watch this year. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Now, the 4K of this just hit. And it looks all right. But this art for the cover is really impressive. And the price for this dropped down to $10 when the 4K hit. And I was willing to upgrade this because of the price drop. And it became suddenly affordable, and I like to get something that lasts a little bit longer. This is a story about an individual who had a very bad experience with Santa Claus that scarred him for life. And eventually he grew up and another thing hit him and drove him off the edge, and he became a killer Santa, rewarding the good and killing the naughty.
Ooh.
As you would hear the words naughty a lot. That's where that's from. Very good. Very well done. Very creepy at the beginning. And quite a gory movie, especially for the time it was done. I think it was done after Halloween. It's one of those that follows that traditional slasher formula. But it's a well done movie, probably a true classic to have around for Christmas time.
Sure. All right. I
don't think there's any of these that you're going to call classics.
Well, some of these that I have, and in stark contrast to what he just described, most of what I'm presenting are upgrades. Most of them are space savers. Some of them are significant space savers. Like I said, War and Peace is the only one that had no immediate, definite connection to the collection. This one is a 2-pack, and one of them is an upgrade from a movie I had on DVD, and one of them is a movie I did not have and I didn't mind picking up. I'm not really sure what these really have in common besides the fact that they're both adapted from kids and or YA novels, and they both start with the letter S, and they're both fantasy movies. I think that's the extent of the connection, but you can let me know if you know of any further ones. But it's a double movie feature of Stardust and the Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh, very good.
Stardust I have seen. I did have it on DVD. This is an upgrade from the DVD. It is an excellent film. It is directed by Matthew Vaughn, based on the book by Neil Gaiman, another person who has offended a lot of people recently, but definitely gave some great stories to the world. The movie stars Charlie Cox, pre-Daredevil, pre-Boardwalk Empire. I'm pretty sure this is the thing that introduced me to Cox. Claire Danes is his co-star. I'm a big fan of hers for many years. You've also got Sienna Miller, Ricky Gervais, Jason Fleming, Rupert Everett, Peter O'Toole, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Robert De Niro. A hell of a cast. Really great cast. It's basically a swashbuckling pirate inclusion, fantasy, epic adventure. Lots of fun. Like I said, directed from Matthew Vaughn, who went on to do Kingsman and X-Men First Class. And, he's done some good, solid stuff. Love the movie. Spiderwick Chronicles, I'm much less familiar with. I know it's got Freddie Highmore in it, Mary Louise Parker, Nick Nolte, David Strathern. Got a pretty interesting cast there. It's the first of a series of children's books. I don't think they didn't ever get around to giving the movie a sequel, did they? I don't think they did. I hear it got good reviews, but I think it was one of those ones that got lost in the shuffle, and they probably wanted a sequel that never happened. But like I said, this is a nice space-saving way to both upgrade Stardust and get the other. And there actually are some bonus features for both films. That doesn't always happen when they do these 2 movie packs. So pretty cool. Nice little slim package of 2 films. And hopefully I'll get a chance to revisit Stardust sooner than later. And hopefully I'll finally see Spiderwick Chronicles.
So I've got both of them on DVD. So if I ever got that, it would definitely lower the the space, because both of them are on DVD, but both are excellent films.
Hey, Olivia.
I do think that Stardust is overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a very good, solid fantasy film. I'm going to put on some Christmas music in the background. All right, let's see here. So we've got the sequel to Silent Night, Deadly Night. Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. The cover's got to be the best thing about this, sadly. It shares something in common with some of my least favorite films, in that they decided, well, we can make a half hour of real film, and then just make a cut of the first movie, and that'll be the whole of it. Because this is mostly the first movie, a cut of the first movie with a half hour worth of it. But it does have one of my favorites. Let me see if I have the line from this one in here.
Oh, I know which one you mean.
Yeah. It's a famous line. It's one I would have thought I'd have up here, but maybe it's not. It's not up here. I mean, that was...
I'm the juggernaut, bitch!
No,
that's just a fun one. Let's see here. It is. There we go. And.
Garbage day! No!
That one's always that one is a pleasure to have. Matter of fact, even on the back, you see the part from the scene there where it's down on it. It does have a lot of special features, and my original one, this one is not a space saver at all, because the original I had both of these on one DVD set.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was the same with the one DVD. It's not a huge increase in space because 2 Blu-ray covers is not a huge increase. But it is a little bit.
Mm.
And the first movie was really good. This one also was pretty cheap. So I was glad to get it. I wasn't going to pick it up when they were like $25 to $30 a piece.
Right.
But for around $10 a piece, it was worth the upgrade for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. My next one is not at all a upgrade or slimming down, but it's an expansion of a series I already had begun in the collection. There is a show that was extremely popular during its run, to the point where it had quite a few seasons. I don't remember exactly how many. And I have seasons 1 through 5. I recently had the opportunity to pick up seasons 7 and 14. Honestly, I'm hoping one day I can just replace what I have with a complete series set. But for the time being, I can add season 7 and 14 of CSI, Crime Scene Investigation. This one continues on as the first 5 seasons did, with William Peterson and Mark Helgenberger as the chief CSIs for a Las Vegas-based unit. I think Helgenberger lasted 4 or 5 seasons longer than Peterson did. This may have been Peterson's last season. I'm not sure. But by the time 14 came around, Ted Danson had taken over as the lead. I think Lawrence Fishburne was in there for a couple of years between them. This one also has, Paul Guilfoyle is there from the start in a supporting role. You get some other, and I think George Eads has been there all through the start. I think he was there all along. But it's a good show. If you're not familiar with it, it's about crime scene investigators, and it's one of those formulaic crime of the week kind of shows. But it's a lot of fun. It's good. It's good. And of course, it famously starts with the Who's "Who Are You" for the theme song. Good opening sequence. So I'm glad to add a couple more of these. Like I said, maybe one day I'll just get the complete set, but these were a good cheap space holder in the meantime.
Well, so what's in the background now is a little bit more Christmassy. One was my own song that I made up, which I'll play for you later after we're done. But this one is a kind of rock version of the Disney one for Mickey's Christmas Carol, which is a great little theme. I got a Rosie joining us. A lot of cat traffic tonight. All right. Well, let's talk about one that is a little bit of a space saver, only because DVDs, Blu-rays take up a little less space. And that is the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection that Vestron released. So that has 3, 4, and 5 on Blu-ray, which ups the quality. Actually gives me special features on each one, which was not on the other one that I have. And I wasn't going to just drop one and do the other because the two match the ones I had. So it's kind of sad that this is there, but I do love this cover. It is a really good cover. Now, the third one, I don't remember a lot of, and same for the second one.
Mhm.
To me, the gem on this is the Toy Maker, which is the fifth one. Now, there's a reason for that.
Mhm.
I want to say, yeah. One of this series, when this came out, it met with a lot of anger. Because in reality, he really is the original Santa Claus killer.
He killed Santa Claus.
Well, the original, like, I dressed up as Santa Claus and killed people.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, a lot of people hated it. Siskel and Ebert said it was like an affront to filmmaking, all this stuff because of what they did. Now, Killer Santa, and that's not even winked at. One of the biggest critics about this film, saying it would destroy our youth, was Mickey Rooney. So guess who plays the main villain in movie 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Rooney. And to me, Mickey Rooney in a rare appearance as a villain, and not just a villain, but a well-acted villain, is well worth this collection alone.
Yeah.
This collection runs around $10 to $14. So to me, it's a great collection. I like the characters. I think it's very creative, especially the last one. If you haven't seen it, you should. And that is all I'll say about it. That's the last of my upgrades.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be going into a solid run of upgrades now. Now, as I have said before, I am not a fan of Amazon. Fuck Jeff Bezos. But every now and then I will make a purchase. And especially this time of year, there tend to be deals, And I am trying really hard to upgrade my DVD collection to Blu-ray whenever possible, both for better quality, but also to save space. And Brandon, maybe you know something I don't, but I've gotten the distinct impression that again, maybe I'm an idiot, but I've gotten the impression that you can't even shop Crunchyroll unless you're a paying member.
Oh, you can. I'm not a paying member, and I bought.
I can't figure out how the fuck to find the store.
There's a little shop tab at the.
Okay. I need to figure that out. But anyway, they also, of course, offer stuff through Amazon. So I picked up a couple of items on sale. Actually, I have a couple more items that have not yet arrived. I got the Crunchyroll related items, but there's still a couple I'm waiting.
They had a pretty good sale on some of the Crunchyroll stuff.
They did. That's
how I finished My Hero Academia, was by because they had both parts for $30 each.
Yeah, I wish I'd seen that. But anyway, there was a company that those of us who were actively collecting during the heyday of anime DVD did a lot of business probably with Bandai. And of course, Bandai shuttered their American operations a few years back. And one of the companies that Bandai did a lot of business with was Sunrise. And I think Crunchyroll ended up buying most of the Sunrise catalog, or at least most of the popular ones. And one of the few Bandai titles that was actually still relatively easy to get, I doubt it is now, but was the Crunchyroll helped spearhead an American Blu-ray release, was on sale for not too much. I think it was about $20, which wasn't bad. And given the size of the original Bandai set, this is actually a pretty nice space saver. It is unfortunately a show I still have yet to see. But I have upgraded to Blu-ray the show Outlaw Star.
Ah, good one.
Nice little collection there.
Worth the upgrade. It's a good series.
Yeah. I think you might have tried to show me an episode of this one, but I don't think I've seen more than that. One day, it's a well-known show. It's like you said, it's got a good rep. But like I said, this saves a lot of space. I had the Bandai set was kind of bigger.
Yeah.
It was a nice looking set, but doesn't hurt to slim it down at this point.
Oh yeah, my Boogie Pop Phantom pickup, for instance, that thing slimmed way down.
Right.
Because the DVD set for that was like thick. But yeah, I still have the DVD set for Outlaw Star. Maybe one day when I have extra money on hand. Because even though it looks like I've got tons of purchases, keep in mind that many of these were purchased some as long as 2 years ago.
Right.
So, not this one, though, because this one was a recent purchase. And one that will be reviewed next week.
Okay.
This week, I'll actually show off. Actually, I'll show off some of the stuff I'm going to be reviewing this week too. But we're talking about a movie from a director I know. I'm friends with the director's father. He's helped me with a lot of my films and has been in Amityville Webcam and is going to be in DV7 whenever I get that off the ground. But his son, Blaze Tudor, father Cody Tudor, directed a Christmas film called Santa Claus. Speaking of killer Santas, I guess there's a lot of killer Santas in this list. But yes, there's a lot of killer Santas here, and this one, Santa apparently fell off his sleigh, crashed, he got a brain injury, and then became a homicidal killer. And as you do, and I guess a martial artist has to stop him. It's not bad. Matter of fact, for what it is, it's pretty good. But you gotta really be into the low budget for this, because you can see the low budget in this. I mean, I just watched Mother Krampus today, and I will say Mother Krampus, it's on my Vlogmas actually. It surprised me that it's like, this is a low budget film. It actually looks pretty solid for a low budget film. This one you is like, yeah, this is low budget. Matter of fact, lower than low budget. But is it fun? Is it enjoyable? Yes. Is it as good as American Santa? No. But nothing is as good as American Santa. Santa Free for All is the best idea and concept. So, if you like Cody Tudor and you like his work and you like his son's work, I think you'll like Santa Claus just fine.
Well, I can't really comment on whether any of mine reached the American Santa bar because I'm not familiar with it myself, but so my next one is also in some ways a first effort. It is a film that was the first produced screenplay by a pair of friends from Boston, and it was referenced very directly in one of our recent films on internet on the Inside Movies Galore, where we covered Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And there's the most wonderful scene in the movie is a direct reference to this film, which I had on DVD. I've had it for years. I finally upgraded to Blu-ray, save a little space, and this is apparently a pretty nice edition, lots of bonus features. And that is the Gus Van Sant movie Good Will Hunting, which won an Oscar for Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. Featured Robin Williams and Damon. Affleck is in there as well. Stellan Skarsgård, Minnie Driver. Ben's little brother Casey's in there. You got a number of other folks. Probably the most commercial film Gus Van Sant has directed, which just makes it even funnier that he plays a sellout in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Jesus Christ, Ben, I'm busy. But
so have you seen this? Do you have the sequel though?
I do not have Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season, I'm afraid. But this movie does look at it's got a pretty good bit of special features there. This is a pretty nice edition. It is the anniversary edition after all. This is a movie that some people absolutely love it. Some people absolutely hate it. It has been stained in history by its association with Harvey Weinstein, because without him, frankly, the movie probably would not have been made. But Kevin Smith was also instrumental to getting this movie made, so, good on him. But it is a solid film. It's got solid performances, and I've always liked it, and it was overdue for a Blu-ray upgrade.
That's a movie that needs a Criterion.
It does.
Yeah, this little kitten has not left me since I got home today.
Yeah. Well, she is Velcro Kitty, right?
She is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so we're still in the micro-budget film section here. Matter of fact, we're going to be looking at that for quite a bit, actually, with the film I Slay on Christmas, which is a Phil Herman anthology feature. If you've seen a Phil Herman anthology feature, you know what you get. You got Debbie D, you've got Joel Wynkoop, you've got Will DeVecchi's. You got a lot of the people that you see in a Phil Herman film, and they're back in.
Mm-hmm.
It has a fairly creepy wraparound. It's got some fairly decent anthology features. I'd say this one is probably one of the best ones I've seen for a while of the anthology films that I've seen from him lately. And it is a kind of creepy one to throw around at the holidays. It has that feel around it. And, sometimes a lot of people say that Christmas is the time for ghosts and ghost stories. So here you go.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those. And boobs. I mean,
And what?
And boobs. You can't have Christmas without boobs.
Obviously.
So, But that is all I got to say. Okay.
Well, speaking, maybe not ghosts so much as spirits, specifically yokai and boobs. I have something completely different. This was a show that originally Media Blasters released the show on one DVD set, and they released some of the OVAs in a second DVD set. So I've had this for a while in 2 DVD sets, and now I've narrowed it down to 1 Blu-ray set. It is a perhaps not the most wholesome show ever released, but it definitely is a lot of fun. And that is the show Kanokon, the Girl Who Cried Fox.
For kids.
So they actually chose the naughtier cover, which was one that was on the OVA set originally. Essentially,
I combined my two.
What's that?
I don't think I combined my sets. I think I still have the old DVD ones of that.
So essentially, this is about a kid in high school who's a little small for his age, who suddenly finds an older and very mature looking girl glomping onto him, who it turns out is a yokai, specifically a fox spirit. And before long, a second fox yokai enters the picture. And it is one of those weird, goofy, you can check your disbelief at the door kind of series. It is a lot of fun. It's definitely not for everyone. I have not seen this in a long time, and I don't know if I'll enjoy it as much as I did when I first saw it.
It's
But
a harem series that makes you feel a little bit like
yeah,
inside.
a little bit, yeah. But like I said, it is a space saver, and I figured it was past due for an upgrade. So there you have it.
There we have it. Well, as you said, now for something completely different.
Yes.
But that's all right. I've been doing a lot of reviews lately.
Mm-hmm.
And my point of reviewing was I said around this time last year, actually, that for next Christmas I was going to review all of the certain series because I was waiting on the third film to release.
Mm-hmm.
And that third film released in like July. And I was like, well, I ain't covering it now. So I waited for the Christmas season. So the first of the films is Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Mm.
Now, this is the only one of the three that I would consider potentially a classic. 1972 film.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what was it? James Patterson, Patrick O'Neill, which is probably the highest caliber actor there. But also, let's see here, Mary Warnov as well.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, this person inherits a house, and he wants to sell the house. The house has to be sold as is. It's a creepy house. A lot of bad shit happened there. Wants to offload it. Unfortunately, a madman escapes an asylum and makes it his home, and kills everybody involved with the house. As you do.
Yeah.
And it happens around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a very slow burn of a movie. But, in all fairness, a lot of 70s horror, which were not splatter films, tended to be slow burns.
Mm-hmm.
There are unfortunate pieces of this, like the editing, like the writing, like the acting, like music, like pretty much every piece of it. And if you really want to know how I feel about it, there is a review that you could check out right now. Well, not right now. Continue watching this. After go. But there is a review about this right now out on YouTube. I did that for the first week of December. So if you want to see Silent Night, Bloody Night's review about whether you want to get it, go for it. I'll tell you a little secret. This is probably going to be leaving my collection not long after I reorganize with a lot of other pieces. I'm doing a heavy reorganization and purge. I don't know if that's going to live through the purge.
Yeah, I'm trying to get myself to do a purge, and I probably need to. But...
Well, having a Blu-ray and DVD ripper that I can keep the files so that, if I, for some reason, go crazy and want to watch it again, I can still do it, helps.
Yeah, I guess. So my remaining ones are all films that are upgrades. The next one, regrettably, is one I still have not seen. I feel really bad about this. I actually have had it for a while now on DVD, meaning to watch it and just never getting around to it. Another thing about this the last bit though, when we did he did his Criterion pickup, a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
I had said that I had stuff on order. I did a Barnes & Noble order where I did pick up some Criterion, and we will see those tonight.
No Criterion shit here.
What's that?
No Criterion shit in this stuff, I can tell you right now.
But I did go ahead and grab some other items that they were offering for sale. And this was one of them. And so I went ahead and upgraded from DVD to Blu-ray a animated series, animated movie that supposedly is much more family friendly than Canocone.
What?
And it is, in fact, a Brad Bird film that helped get him his gig at Pixar, which
Kiss
is
this.
the Island Conference. You know, I've heard nothing but good things about this movie. It is a beloved film.
You've not
Vin
seen it?
Diesel, what's that?
You've not seen it?
No, I haven't. Got Vin
Oh.
Diesel, Cloris Leachman, John Mahoney, Christopher McDonald, Emmett Walsh. You got a hell of a voice cast. Like I said, Brad Bird directing. This is supposed to be a truly classic film. This doesn't have a great deal of bonus features, but it does have a few. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I
Great
think
film.
this was
Get you in the feels.
What's that?
Great film. Get you in the feels.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting this. Actually, this may be, Brandon, if you go through with your idea of the theme for next year, of you haven't seen that, this could be one of them. This is one on my short list.
Shoot, that one could theoretically be utilized for next month's theme, even though I know you already got one.
Yeah, I already got one. And generally, I don't put stuff forward if I haven't seen it. But for a theme of you haven't seen that, by definition, I need to pick stuff I haven't seen. So, yeah. But I'll look forward to getting to this one. If I don't wait for the channel, I'll hopefully get it watched soon. But we'll see.
All right. Well, next one, if you can't predict, is another Silent Night, Bloody Night film. Also, if you want to see the full review, it is up on the channel and very, very easily to access.
Okay.
And that is Silent Night, Bloody Night 2, The Revival by Dustin Ferguson. Now, I like these covers. I really do. But I want to say, first off, if you really want this film, I don't know why, but if you really do want this film, don't get it from Retrosploitation. It is a crap copy. There are better copies floating out there. There's no special features, no menu. It just plays. You can do yourself a lot better. Don't get it from Retrosploitation. Here you only have one option. But there is a menu. So I guess that's a plus. Dustin Ferguson is a hit or miss in the micro-budget world. I've seen a lot more of his misses than I have his hits. I need to see the stuff he's known for and loved for so that I can do that. Remember when I was talking about the stuff I disliked about Silent Night, Deadly Night 2? Here we go again. Don't watch this shortly after the first one. I really dislike this film. There's only one thing I can say about this, is that I did not hate this film as much as I hated it the first time I watched it. Now, that's really not saying much. Essentially, somebody comes back to stay at this bed and breakfast that is around the same spot that the house was at. But they just built this house over top of the old house. There's stuff about like this guy called what's his name? Black Peter. Essentially, it's an excuse to have a Killer Santa. So this was turned into a Killer Santa film. Because I guess a lot of people want to connect it to Silent Night, Deadly Night. Some people have even said that it's a ripoff of that, which is not true because Silent Night, Deadly Night came 14 years later. Hard to rip off something that came 14 years after the first one. But this goes in a very different direction. It does try to connect to the first film, which I will say is better than something that I'll talk about in a minute. But the amount of old footage you go back through,
Yeah.
it's just not worth it. Unless you decide you just want to skip the first film entirely, and then you just go into this. So, yeah, not my recommendation list. Probably going to exit the collection when I do my purge next year.
All right. My next one is one that I saw exactly once, way back in the day. I was in college, and I think this was just a couple years old at that point. And I think I might have been slightly inebriated when I saw it. I can't remember for sure. It was one that I was kind of underwhelmed by, but strangely enough, my dad actually really enjoyed it. He actually owned a copy, which I inherited when he passed. So like The Iron Giant, this is one that I had an unwatched copy sitting in my collection. But when I had the opportunity to upgrade to Blu-ray really cheaply, I was like, sure, why not? Let's save some space. And that is the Heath Ledger starring film A Knight's Tale. Which this week we covered LA Confidential, co-written by Brian Helgeland. This was written and directed by Brian Helgeland. We also have, like I said, Heath Ledger, Mark Addy, Rufus Sewell, Paul Bettany, Alan Tudyk, music by Carter Burwell. But also famously, this 14th century Knight's Tale features the music of Queen as well, in a manner of speaking. And they even say in the tagline, "He will rock you."
Yeah.
I did enjoy the movie, but again, I was kind of nonplussed by my first viewing. And it's been 20 years, so one day I'll watch it again. But like I said, in the meantime, it's taking up a lot less space, and it's a higher quality copy. So, yeah, one could do worse.
Well, I will say this. It was the film that really introduced me to Paul Bettany as an actor, and I did love him in that film.
Okay.
And though I laugh because it is an acquired taste of a film. And not accurate historically in the least.
And there are movies that not everyone likes that Bettany is a highlight in.
Yes.
See Mordecai.
Now, that said, I did like the film, and I liked what they did with it. But
Right.
I had to be in the right mood for it.
Yeah,
But
I
to
don't
me,
think
it's
I was
a
in the
lovely.
right.
I love the. No, I don't love the film like my mother loves it. My mother loves the film, but I did like the film, and I did enjoy it, and I love Paul Bettany's performance.
Mhm.
That one and A Beautiful Mind are my favorite Paul Bettany performances. Well, and not the one where he keeps complaining about Chaucer.
I
No, he was Chaucer.
I think so. Oh, that's right. He was Chaucer. Yeah, I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. Well, the last of the Silent Night, Bloody Night, which for you who are watching this today, Wednesday, the 17th, all 0 of you right now. Which, you know what? Let me do something real quick. I should have advertised because we're going on later than what we normally was. We're going to.
Like, by the way,
SeptumSin versus the world. Yep. But of course, I can always answer the question: is this the last year of SeptumSin versus the world? Well, the answer to this at this point is no. No, it's not. Because I've got stuff planned for next year. But who knows? Maybe next year will be.
Yeah.
Especially after this review goes live. And that is Silent Night, Bloody Night 3, Descent. Directed by Will Colazzo Jr. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Colazzo's work. He has done stuff that I have sort of liked, but he hasn't wowed me yet. Now, I will say this isn't any different in a lot of ways, but does have a few pieces to it that draw me too. One, this is probably by far the best of the 3 films. It is way better than the other 2. Now, considering what I was telling you, how I like the other 2 films, that's not a very high bar to clear. So this film decides to say, screw the original film entirely, and builds mainly on the Killer Santa from the second film. The Killer Santa, who is now played by a different actress, is in an insane asylum with a ball pit. Now, I admit, I have seen a lot of asylums in my time, and none with a ball pit. So that is a plus. And their journey into potentially getting back to the Killer Santa spree again. It does have a lot of people that I know in it. Actually, that both of us know. Forrest Bennett, former Inside Movies Galore. Cody Tudor. I talked about him earlier. Kyle Rappaport. We all know Kyle. And there's others that I know in this movie. A lot of people that I see in these things over and over again. So I can't really knock it so much. It does have some decentness to it. It's an okay film overall. Out of the 3, if I was to keep one of the 3, it would probably be this one. Though I can't guarantee you this one will survive the purge either. It's the most likely out of the 3. I don't think I needed to pay $50 to get it 3D. But which I didn't. I just got the regular. It does have another one that was strikingly odd, which was Floyd Kaufman. I know you know that name.
Floyd Kaufman?
Lloyd Kaufman. Lloyd Kaufman. A stuffed up nose here. Who is of Trauma fame. He has a huge, not a huge part, but a large part in this film. And I'm surprised at that. So that was probably the biggest shining example. Kyle did pretty good with his acting. A lot of these people did pretty good with what they had. Still, I am kind of sad it didn't really have any connection to the first film. It just kind of said, well, Killer Santa, let's run with that. Unlike the others, it actually has good menus. It has a lot of extra features. It has a behind the scenes done by Kyle, and I will say this, Kyle can do a very good behind the scenes featurette. So there's a lot of good stuff to be had in this. And as much as I hate to say it, this is probably the one of the 3 that I have the most difficulty getting rid of. So I'll have to think on this at the end of the day. That's the end of those 3.
Okay. Is it my go? Yeah, okay. So, my next one is from a slightly higher regarded director, I guess you might say. This one is also based on a famous novel, specifically the book by S.E. Hinton. This is Francis Ford Coppola's version, The Outsiders, and he subtitles it The Complete Novel. This movie, of course, featured C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon, Diane Lane, Ralph Macchio, Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, Emilio Estevez, Tom Cruise, and Leif Garrett. Kind of a who's who of early 80s talent there. This is widely considered something of a sentimental classic. I have actually never read the book, and I've only seen the movie a couple of times. So I don't really have the nostalgia for this. A lot of people do. But I had this on DVD. It definitely was worth upgrading to Blu-ray. Like I said, it's a condensed version as well. Not a whole lot of special features, but there's some. I think this probably is something that could definitely use a Criterion or Arrow release, and I would probably have to upgrade if it did. But in the meantime, like I said, I had an opportunity to cheaply slim down this one in my collection. And yeah, I look forward to giving it another go one of these days.
Yeah, I've seen it at least once, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, back to the mill of things that probably won't survive the purge.
Huh.
Let me look here. Anything else here that would have a problem surviving the purge? Actually, only one other film here would be iffy. But this is the only one that I think definitely won't survive the purge. And that is the what was his name? Mark Polonia film, Yule Log. Mark Polonia is hit or miss. The Polonia brothers are, in my opinion, some of the most important people when it comes to micro-budget filmmaking. They have done things and made strides that have helped others get forward in the method. So some of the stuff that I have seen by both of them has been very good. Splatter Farm was a good example of that. Amazing horror film done when they were just in their late teens. Unfortunately, after one of them passed, it's been iffy because Mark Polonia can do really good work, and I've seen it. Return to Splatter Farm. I hate to go back to that one, but it's the only one I can think of off the top of my head right now. Is a very well done film when it comes to that. The man knows what he's doing when he wants to know. There's one, I think, like Bigfoot, there's a Bigfoot movie that he did. He does a lot of those. That was House Squatch. That one was hilarious. And that one was also very well done. Just to show one that's not splatter film. Unfortunately for Polonia, as far as Poloniacs are concerned, he likes to mass produce. I mean that. He mass produces a lot. So I cannot guarantee you that you would like this. This is a what was it? Let's see here. Two friends take their buddy to a secluded cabin to take his mind off his recent loss. What they don't expect is a night of terror. Oh yeah, that's the one where the plants come and attack. So yeah, this Christmas Witch or something like that. It's not good. It's kind of boring. Won't survive the purge. But if you love Polonia and you love all of his work, and there are Poloniacs out there, you'll probably love it. So go for it.
All right. So another film that has seemed to be a little off center here suddenly. I don't know what that's about, but anyway. Another movie. Oh, there we go. Another movie that not everyone is on the same page about, but typically the buzz tends to be a little higher for this one. Another one based on a book I haven't read. That seems to be a theme. A lot of these are based on books I have not read. And a lot of them are books that I'd kind of like to read one of these days. In this case, this is a very, 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 very famous and highly regarded movie that has undergone different cuts over the years because of some controversies about the way the studio mucked with the original cut. And that is Ridley Scott's take on Philip K. Dick's story, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And the movie is known as Blade Runner. This is supposedly the final cut. I guess it's the one that had Scott's personal okay. Film famously starring Harrison Ford and Rutger Hauer. You've also got Sean Young in there, Edward James Olmos, got some other folks. Early 80s, sort of a almost post-apocalyptic, certainly sort of a steampunk aesthetic. Very
Dystopian future.
Definitely a dystopian. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A dystopian future take where we have what are called replicants, basically cyborgs that can almost pass for human. And if I don't remember the significance of the word Blade Runner, to be honest, maybe you'll remember it more. But basically, Ford, if I recall correctly, is I believe he is he's a detective who is hunting replicants, essentially. I'll be honest, I was never blown away by this, and I have trouble remembering details about it.
Yeah.
I actually really liked Blade Runner 2049, and I actually enjoyed that more. I thought it was a better movie. But I fully admit this is a classic movie to which a lot of films owe a lot.
Yeah.
And this edition does have a pretty good number of special features. I think I had this exact edition on DVD, and this is basically a space saver. Slightly better quality, takes up less space. I was able to get it cheaply, so I went ahead and pulled the trigger. Once again, a movie that probably is overdue for an Arrow or Criterion release, and I would probably be all pretty happy to get something like that. But in the meantime, this is a really good space saver. It is a movie I need to see again. And I'm frankly kind of shocked this wasn't chosen for next month. But, whatever. We'll get to it one of these days.
If I choose it, it'll be on the list of second chances. If we get it. Because I saw it originally, and I was bored.
Yeah, I was not thrilled by it.
So I have to try it again because everybody likes it, and I'm older now,
Right.
and so maybe it's better now that I'm older.
Right.
But I mean, actually, if you paid attention to that other stream I did, that long one, I actually picked up the 4K of Blade Runner in there, which replaced my little snapper DVD copy. Which that's definitely an upgrade at that point.
Yeah.
So I would be interested in seeing it again. That might be a second chances one for me.
Right.
So I could actually, do. If I had a Bubblegum Crisis movie, I could do that as Shades of Tech.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we get into stuff that I actually kind of liked. Because I feel like I've been into the whole time. With the exception of the start when I had Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then the one time I talked Mickey Rooney. All right, this one is something I saw, and I jumped on it because they put it on major sale for Christmas, and that was Best Christmas Ever. MVD released this, and it was pretty cheap. It is almost identical, in a way, to are you all familiar with the Searching for Darkness? You're familiar with the Searching for Darkness documentaries.
I know them by name. I never did get around to watching them.
I know you did. I'm presenting in a live stream.
Hi,
Live stream.
Cam.
Oh, my.
Hey, Jacob. He's sitting there. What is that? No.
Well, I did just do the litter after a while.
Oh, no, it's that nasty stuff right there.
Well, I was just presenting this one here. Actually, you watched this one with me.
What?
That best Christmas movies ever. It kind of came across like those In Search of Darkness ones, except for Christmas movies.
Oh, when did we watch that?
I don't remember. It's been a while. It was this season. I remember that, but
Did I say it in?
it was. It's a shorter film, much shorter, like what, 94 minutes or something like that.
That is bullshit.
So much easier to watch. But I like it because it goes through and it has a lot of directors and actors from a lot of people who did a lot of these
Oh,
films.
Brent Spiner. I forgot he was in that.
And they talk about a lot of different films that are Christmas classics. And that is a really cool thing to have in the collection. I really like this. It's a great documentary. If you like Christmas films, you want to just sit and hear people involved with those films talk about them. This is a great documentary for them.
All right.
And it's actually not expensive. So,
Oh, very cool.
yeah, I would actually recommend. That's one of those few that I actually say, yeah, I'd definitely recommend it. Especially after God damn, this is bad.
Speaking of not expensive, this is something that also was on the Barnes & Noble sale. I actually had a pretty nice looking edition on DVD, and I kind of was of two minds about changing it. But if I recall correctly, it looked really good, but it didn't really have a lot of bonus features. This one doesn't have a lot either, so I think I'm kind of breaking even for the bonus features here. But it does have multiple commentaries, which is nice. And another movie based on a novel I have not read that I kind of want to. Specifically, this is based on the novel by Bret Easton Ellis. It is Mary Herron's take on the supposedly unfilmable American Psycho, which features Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, the yuppie we all love to hate, who basically it is a satire on consumerist culture masquerading as a film about a multiple homicidal maniac, basically. This is a star-making role for Bateman. He'd been around for years, but this was like one of his first starring roles. And you got a ton of people in this. Willem Dafoe is in there, Jared Leto, Josh Lucas, Samantha Mathis, Chloe Sevigny, Cara Seymour, Justin Theroux, Reese Witherspoon, etc. Got a bunch of folks in there. I enjoy this movie. It's a good one. I think it's overrated. A lot of the movies I'm presenting, I think, are overrated. But I do enjoy it. I am curious about the novel, and maybe I'll get to it one of these days. Especially because of the claims that it was unfilmable. It makes me wonder what the original was actually like. But yeah, like I said, Space Saver, upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray. Still have some bonus features on there, so not a bad pickup.
All right. Really cool. So speaking of really cool, one I had to get. So we're all familiar with the something becomes public after it passed its copyright date, and they decided to do something horror movie like say Blood. Was it Blood? Blood or Honey? Winnie the Pooh. Blood and Honey. So I got one based on the Grinch.
Oh dear God.
The mean one. Now, the Grinch is not exactly, what's the word for it? It's not copyright free.
Mm-hmm. But
they got around it.
Okay.
They never say the Grinch. They never say any of the stuff there. But, Cindy comes back to her mountain town. And finds that Christmas is not celebrated because the mean one comes in and starts killing everybody. And it is over the top, crazy, and silly, and a bit stupid. But that's fine, because that's what you expect. If it was serious and well written and well designed, I would be bored. I would probably look at this as no good. No, this has to be a little bit trash in order for it to come across the way it needs to.
Okay.
And it is enjoyable. I really enjoyed the watch of this. I need to watch it again this year. I don't know if I will, because I've got a lot of stuff to watch, and I don't know if I'll get to everything. But this is on the list of maybe I'll get to it. It is fun to watch, and I may have to watch it again one of these days.
Yeah. So it's a better movie than Blood and Honey?
I liked Blood and Honey, but I know a lot of people didn't. Blood and Honey 2 was really good. And actually, a lot of people agree with me on that one. The first one was okay. But I know a lot of people did not like that one. This one was better than Blood and Honey. I definitely.
So earlier today, I was looking at a list. I can't remember exactly where it was posted. That that included Patrick Bateman as one of the, I think it was a list of 30 greatest villains that are human villains. And so they were not looking at supernatural creatures like Freddy Krueger. I guess they may have decided that essentially Star Wars would not count because they're technically aliens, that kind of thing. But they were like the 30 greatest villains or humans. And even though Bateman is the protagonist of his film, he could still be considered a villain.
Yeah.
Another one was included on the list, and that's going to be the last one I'm showing before I get to Criterion. This one I also had a really nice DVD set, but it was bigger. This is definitely a space saver. And this apparently still is a nice set with a lot of bonus features. And this one is a favorite of mine. I love this. And it's a film by David Fincher from the mid-90s called Seven. And of course, John Doe was on that list of great human villains. It looks like you're having a thought.
Oh, no, I'll talk to you. I'll say something in a minute. You finish your speech.
So basically, this, for those of you who are not familiar, damn, I didn't mention this Monday. How did I not mention this when I asked about procedurals? I did not. Oh, this is a procedural. It's a detective drama about, you've got a rookie cop, well, a young cop played by Brad Pitt with his young wife who's played by Gwyneth Paltrow. And you have a jaded older cop played by Morgan Freeman, who's, just about to retire and all that. And the two of them are investigating a serial homicide by someone who is killing people according to the 7 deadly sins. And spoiler alert, John Doe, as they call him, does eventually surface. And it is, for all his many faults, Kevin Spacey is a compelling villain. And he certainly is in this movie.
What's in the box?
Yes, if you've ever seen What's in the Box meme, it probably came from this movie. Great film. Really, really good. Unfortunately, there's a sticker covering the bonus features. But you can tell just from looking at that there's a crap load of bonus features. So this is a nice addition. I will still upgrade this if I can ever get a Arrow or Criterion upgrade. But for now, this is definitely a space saver that's well worth having in the collection.
That's one of those that is a you ever have those ones in your collection where your DVD copy is just so good that it's really hard to bring yourself to upgrade?
Yes, and I did have to think about that one, but it was like I said.
Because the one I have is really cool.
Yeah.
And that one has an odd feel for me. I haven't watched it in years.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I picked it up in the first place was there was a time when I was really trying to date. And because I was like, you know what? I need to start acting like a person. Or at least what people consider people. And date. So from about 2008 to 2012, I did nothing but go on different dates. I would actually go on about 2 to 3, maybe 4 every month. Mostly in the area I'm in now because I didn't want to go on dates in Emporia. And one of the people that I dated for a few months really loved that film. So it got me to buy the film for the collection. I needed it anyway because it's a classic film. And I watched it for that reason. So I will always associate that film with that person. Like, wow, what World of Warcraft? I started that only because the person I was dating at the time was in that.
Because I think most people think 7, and they think date night. It's
Well, like I say, I dated a lot of weird people.
well, I mean,
I'm weird people too, so
I joke, but there was a person I wanted to date who told me that her favorite movie was Secretary. So
Now, if you date somebody and they say their favorite movie is Sallow, run.
Oh dear God.
So I'm getting to one of 2 movies here. Have you seen Silent Night, Deadly Night?
I don't think I have.
Okay. So I'm getting to one of 2 movies that I'm pretty sure that you've seen. That I know you've seen.
Okay.
One you may have seen. But 2 on this I know you've seen.
Okay.
This one and the last one I know you've seen. Because both were discussed on Inside Movies Galore. The first...
Follow, I didn't see that.
No, but you were on for these 2 discussions. If you hadn't seen it, you faked it. And you were the one who brought up one of these 2.
Oh.
So that would be even worse if you hadn't. Like, nah, I didn't see it.
Okay.
I just read a wiki the whole time. This is one I brought up for this month. So you know which one that is. And that is Holidays.
Okay.
Now, I've been on a Kevin Smith kick lately, and I realized that this is probably the only thing of Kevin Smith's I did not own on physical. I even have a bootleg of the creepy crypto film that he did. Holidays is an anthology film about the holidays. Sorry, anthology horror, if you didn't get it by the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Smith does Halloween, but Christmas is on here, and Christmas is actually one of the better ones, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I really did enjoy the Christmas one.
Mm-hmm.
But this has some very interesting ones on it, and Easter in particular is disturbing.
Yeah.
Memorable movie right here.
Yes.
Still, I think it's a good enough movie. I enjoyed it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep it in the collection. Not one I would watch a lot over and over again. But then again, I'm not going to watch Tusk over and over again, but I still say it's a good movie. It's like, did he do that walrus movie? Like, how do you keep making movies after that?
Yep. Yep.
So, if you haven't watched this, you should, if you're a horror fan.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
check out
a fan,
our discussion.
you get to see one of his short films that is not like fully curated by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And stars his daughter again, because, as she said in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, that he puts me in everything.
Forced his daughter to be in all his movies. And you've also got Seth Green in the Christmas short, which he does a good job there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones in here. I actually liked the last ones. I liked Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's very well. And the others were not bad, but they were disturbing in multiple ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found the which was the one about the serial killer? Was it Christmas or New Year's?
That was the one with the date with the
the date.
Yeah, that was New Year's.
So yeah, that one was my favorite of the group. So I can't say my favorite was the one with Kevin Smith, but the one with Kevin Smith was amusing. It kind of had a grindhouse feel to it. Yeah. But at least I can say that you've seen this one, so you can comment on that. Doesn't have any special features really, but it is a decent enough film. And one I'm probably not going to watch every holiday, but I might watch every other holiday.
All right.
I'll be right back, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, my next one, I'm actually annoyed. I didn't look more closely at it, and I just realized there's actually damage on the back of it. It's very annoying to me. But like I said, the initial reason, the raison d'etre of why I have this Barnes & Noble order was to do one last stab at the November Criterion sale, the 50% off sale. And I will say up front, I had intended to buy the Wes Anderson set, and they were sold out. It's expensive as hell anyway, but they were sold out. But I did get 3 films, and these are all upgrades from movies I had on DVD. This one I've had for a good long time. It is a film that put Terrence Malick back on the map after he had been gone for a long time. Dude took I think it was a decade-long break from filmmaking. It might have been longer than that. And as Hollywood likes to do, they paired 2 World War II films in that year's Oscar race. And whereas Saving Private Ryan was all about the European theater of operations, the Pacific theater was represented by The Thin Red Line, a epic war movie that is not your typical war movie. It is kind of your typical Terrence Malick film. It's 171 minutes, and from what I understand, that's less than half of its original length. There were several actors in this movie who did not end up in the final cut. There were so many pieces that ended up on the cutting room floor. But even so, you still had an incredible big cast. Sean Penn, Nick Nolte, Elias Koteas, Woody Harrelson, George Clooney is in there. Dashmi Hulk, I believe, was in there. Jim Caviezel. Tons of people were in this. It is this particular edition has quite a bit of bonus features. It's a pretty nice edition. You can see on the back there's that gash. I'm very annoyed that they sent me a damaged copy, but it's a relatively minor damage. But still, it's brand freaking new Criterion. It's supposed to be in good shape. But 1998 release. Like I said, good film. If you don't know what you're in for with Terrence Malick, be warned. He is artsy. He is contemplative. He is not action-oriented. This is a movie to watch when you can focus on a long, meditative movie. But it is a good film. And I had it on DVD. I've had it on DVD for many years. This is a space saver. And like I said, with all those bonus features, a definite upgrade.
I need to both see it and probably get it for the collection eventually.
Right.
I haven't done either. And it's on my it's on the Criterion list of, well, it'll happen one day.
Right.
Because I know it's important. But at the same time, I was like, I don't know if I wanna. I only have one priority film for Criterion right now when they go on sale again, and that's Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
That will be a priority for me, yes.
Because I've only got it on DVD, and it needs an upgrade regardless. But it's so surprising that one got a release on Criterion. So I'm really excited for that. So let's talk about one I know you probably haven't seen and only would see if we made you see it on Inside Movies Galore, but would definitely fit for next month's topic. But I'm not making y'all watch that because it's Christmas themed, and by January I'm sick of Christmas themed stuff, so I don't want to watch it anymore. And that is Christmas, Bloody Christmas.
Oh, good times.
Now, this has an existential feel to it in some way. Sort of like how SOS Santa or whatever, the one that we covered with the Home Alone type that was French.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Now,
Dial Code Santa.
Yeah, Dial Code Santa. There was other names for it, but yeah. This one has an existential feel like that in some of the beginning of the movie. But essentially, they had a lot of these military robots that they mass-produced, and they didn't have a use for, so they retrofitted them and said, okay, we'll sell them to stores to sell toys and stuff. So you had one dressed, one as a Santa, just like, Merry Christmas, da-da-da-da. Well, its military program gets kicked in, and it goes around and starts killing everybody. Like Terminator style. This is not a good movie, but it is a fun movie. If you like a fun, bloody slasher with a slight hint of artsiness at the beginning, you will like this film. Now, when I say slight hint, is that you can tell that the person who did this wanted to do more than just a bloody slasher film. They failed, but it is cool to acknowledge the effort there. It is a pretty fun film to watch. I do like it. I did have fun with it. I do enjoy watching it. I watched it last year. I don't know if I'll watch it this year. This is one of those, we're kind of like falling asleep, I'll throw this on type film. But it is a great film. I'm glad to have it in the collection. Shudder has some good original films they make, and this is one of those that I found is pretty decent.
All right. And now for something completely different. We're going back in time. Like I said, the last one I did was from 98. My last two are actually both from the 40s. These are way back in the day. When I originally started doing the Criterion sale as a regular thing, I had a rule in place that I would pick up a Charles Chaplin film. But then I ran out of Charles Chaplin films. And then I said, okay, well, Harold Lloyd or Buster Keaton. Well, there aren't a lot of Harold Lloyd or Buster Keaton films in the collection, especially Keaton. They could release a bunch more Buster Keaton films, and I would happily pick those up. But, So I was like, or a silent era film. But let's be honest, I don't want to have to go to all the extra work to figure out which film I need to get each time. So I said, okay, the hell with it. I'm going to get a classic film. Just an indisputable, 30s, 40s. People would call it a classic. At least one of them. This one, I had a freaking flipper. Just a stupid, bare bones flipper, terrible cover edition, DVD edition. This is an upgrade in every sense of the word. I think it's a recent-ish Criterion release. I might be wrong about that, but it definitely is an upgrade. It's the 1940. This is probably the oldest one I got this cycle. the 1940 Oscar-winning adaptation of the stage play The Philadelphia Story. George Cukor Films starring Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant, and James Stewart. And it's a pretty solid film. I enjoy this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I am overdue for another watch. But I definitely thought a lot of this when I saw it. And like I said, I had a really crappy edition. This is not only not a flipper, it's a Blu-ray, so it's a smaller case. Not as many bonus features as I would have liked or frankly expected for this film, but that's still not bad. That's still better than your typical deluxe edition movie release. Major upgrade for the collection. Glad to finally have that in my Criterion shelf.
Very cool. Very cool indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You just reminded me of something, which is why I took a minute. You know what? I'm not going to let Tammy get off of the off of things, and I'm going to actually change my my choice from Jexy, which was just a kind of like I didn't know what I was picking choice, to Metropolis, the 2001 anime.
Oh, very nice. Very
I
nice.
don't feel like doing the silent film, even though it's an excellent film, by the way.
And I need to see my copy of that one.
But Metropolis is an amazing anime and
yeah,
one that is well worth watching. And it's about machines taking.
yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen this one, but it is kind of fun, and it is better than the original sequel to this. And that is A Christmas Story Christmas.
Okay.
Now, Christmas Story did have a sequel where they're teens, and he's trying to get a car and all that stuff, and that was all right. But this one actually,
okay.
they put their put money and heart into, where you actually focus on Ralphie as a father and trying to take his through their various traditions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one did have a lot of feels to it. Of course, the father has passed away, and you have to deal with that loss. It's a pretty good film. I liked it. It was a pretty good sequel to A Christmas Story, if you ignore A Christmas Story 2. Have you seen this one?
I have not.
Ah, well. One, I'm not sure I'm going to watch this year or not. If I have to choose one of those, Christmas Story 2, or that one, I will choose 8-Bit Christmas first. Because 8-Bit Christmas is to our generation what Christmas Story was to our parents' generation.
Okay.
And, of course, that movie makes me cry every time. But very well done.
It makes me cry.
Well, it's a lot about it, and of course, I watched it first right after my father passed in 2021, and the story really is about his relationship with his father and how they did not get along well, and how he comes back and he sees the present that his father did for him at the end of the movie, and it's this awesome thing that he did that only he figured out he could do. Even though they couldn't connect fully, they tried a lot. And to come back, and of course, he passed at the time. So, of course, every time now I see that at the end, I just tear up. Because me and my father never really connected that way, but we tried. And there's a lot of stuff that remains. Like, a lot of my taste in movies, sadly, comes from him.
Yeah.
So, and this one also has a lot of that to it. It has a lot of heart to it. So, out of it, it's not as good as the original, of course. It's not a classic, but it's a lot better than the sequel they made.
All right. My last one is one that I will admit I debated a little bit. We talked already about a couple of movies where the original release was actually pretty cool. Or maybe not the original release, but the one that I had or that we had or whatever. Was already pretty cool. This one, when it got the DVD release, they had all the bells and whistles. And it was a really nice edition. And I debated upgrading it. But as far as I can tell, the Criterion upgrade is at least a little bit better. It does save a little bit of space, and it's still a cool-ass looking set. And staying with the 40s, but only moving forward 1 year from Philadelphia Story, we have the highest rated and arguably one of the most overrated films ever made, but it is a damn good film at the end of the day. It is an excellent film. And that is the film written by, directed by, and starring Orson Welles, Citizen Kane.
Ah, yes.
Very nice edition there. Very nice 3-disc edition, I think.
Gross.
Lots of bonus features on there. Lots of bonus features. There's a BBC feature-length documentary called The Complete Citizen Kane. There's an Orson Welles silent film called The Hearts of Age from 1934. There's a lot of interviews, various programs, essays, the usual Criterion swag. It's a solid set. This thing is heavy. Like I said, it's not as much a space saver as your typical Criterion. For one, it's a lot wider. It's going to look a little different on the shelf. This is a classic film. For the 3 of you who have never heard of it, it is basically Wells' thinly disguised broadside against William Randolph Hearst, where his character Charles Foster Kane is a newspaper magnate who the film is essentially a profile on a fallen titan of industry, is essentially the plot in a nutshell. And it's got a lot of people in it. Joseph Cotton's in there. You got Ray Collins, George Coulouris, Agnes Moorehead, a lot of people. It's a fairly massive film. Well, actually, no, 119 minutes. Actually shorter than you'd think it is. But felt pretty epic for the time. It's widely credited with creating important new camera angles and all kinds of stuff. Many people say this is one of the most egregious snubs in Oscar history. Etc., etc. I think it's a good film. I think it's an overrated film, but I enjoy it. And like I said, it absolutely deserved to have the best possible edition I could get. It's just less of an upgrade and space saver than some of the others that I got. And it was a little more expensive because it's a multi-disc set. But,
according to what Criterion itself says, it is also their first 4K release.
4K!
Which, by the way, I have that version.
Which doesn't really matter to me because I don't do 4K. But whatever.
4K is probably the highest that I could actually see fidelity-wise.
Right.
And I'll admit, 4K did not matter to me as much until I saw, Planet Earth 2, I believe?
Yeah.
I'll admit, seeing the colors pop in the 4K, it is spectacular. Even my father could say he saw that, and that was a big. So, the last one, I know you've seen this. You know how I know?
How?
Because you have recommended it to Inside Movies Galore. So I know you've seen this. I've seen this before as well, but I never had it. And then at the end of Disney Movie Club, I went ahead and I got it at one of those reduced deals. And that is Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol. This is probably one of the weakest versions of A Christmas Carol I have ever seen. It is. Yes, you did. You did put it up for Inside Movies Galore.
Okay.
I don't consider it the best version of anything on that scale. It's an okay version. It does its job. It was made to be watched in IMAX with the 3D glasses and all that stuff as well. It was made to be watched in the theaters, and you can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
They really worked for that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as itself, Jim Carrey does a decent job as Scrooge. They have some pretty good acting jobs. They do a decent enough version of the novel. This one will stay in my collection, but only just because it kind of like goes over the line of it's all right. I'd watch it again eventually. And that's really, I guess, the standard I'm going to be going for. Is it something I'm going to be watching again on a semi-regular basis, or even for curiosity to say, do I really like this?
Right.
There are a few that will be immune, like Sallow, for instance, because it's a Criterion, and I believe it's out of print for good reason. But for the most part, I'm going to be looking at stuff and say, is this something I'm going to watch over and over again? Because if it's not, why do I have it in the collection?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a film preservationist. I mean, we all pretend we are, but but you know. But a lot of this isn't something we're going to watch over and over again. And I'll admit, this Christmas season, I've actually been proved to the point of, yes, I really wanted to watch this film. Is it streaming? No. Oh. Well, I guess it's a good thing I have the Blu-ray to bring up.
Yeah.
So I am reminded of that occasionally here and there. So it's good to have the ones. If you are, in my opinion, if you are a physical media collector, it really should be more for the point of, are you interested? Are you interested in watching this over and over? Because if it's something you're just going to watch once and say, don't bother with it, you know. We want preservation of it, but if you can just stream it once and it's all you're going to watch it for, then don't waste the packaging and materials to get it physically. But that's my take on it. Will I hold that take? I think I will, actually, because I've been slowly moving towards this over the years. It's kind of a weird take to say on a physical media channel, but if you had talked to me about this, say in 2004, 2005, when I started collecting, I'd be like, no, you can never have too big a collection.
Yeah, right.
I think both of us have gone through that phase at least once at one point in our lives.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth on that myself for a while. It's like I said, I've managed, because there are reasons to hang on to them.
Yeah, I mean, some films have importance to them, and it's good to have it just in case they're banned or outlawed or gotten rid of.
Right.
Especially these days, it would not surprise me in the next few years to see some outright film bans, depending on what balance of power.
Well, I think we're not going to see that as much as we're literally going to see lost media, because there's this, everything's on streaming nowadays.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, I run into a lot of stuff I want to see that's not on streaming.
Yeah.
So really.
And then, you guys, you've talked about this many times about how they can drop them at the drop of a hat.
Yep.
And especially if Netflix does go through with this merger with Warner HBO, that's even fewer people making the decision about whether something will stay online.
Makes me wonder if the Gunniverse will actually be there. It's kind of sad when I look at it and I'm like, which one is the lesser evil?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about Netflix being the winner in that fight. There's a part of me that's like, well, I guess it's good that CNN is not going to be a dystopian state-owned media station, but
that is good for now.
Still.
Right. There's always tomorrow.
But we will see how things go in the coming year. We're gonna try a New Year's stream of sorts. As I said, I'm gonna try and start streaming once a week in the new year. I'm going to be shedding the hat after my next stream. Y'all won't know that, however, because I've got a lot of stuff lined up for next week. Tomorrow, we've got a review of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Better film, that one. Silent Night, Bloody Night 3. Then next week, I've got 2 reviews. I've got a live stream where I'm going to do endless pickups until we get to a time. And of course, people are welcome to come on, show their pickups or whatever during that time. That's going to be starting at 6 p.m. on Monday. And then as people want to come on, they come on, show off what they want to show off, get off, and I'll just keep doing it until about 8 o'clock, where I will get off, take a shower, and get ready for the Inside Movies Galore's discussion slash Flintstone Christmas Carol.
Real quick, we were just talking about you never know if things will be on physical. Criterion just announced their March titles. Did you see that?
Nope.
Killers of the Flower Moon will be getting a physical release in March.
That one did not do very well.
No.
So is that both parts or just the first part?
Both. Well, I mean, it was the movie.
Because I know it was in multiple parts that were released.
Okay.
But I don't remember much because I didn't actually... Oh, wait, no. Killers of the Flower Moon. I'm thinking of the other one. I'm thinking of the... what was it? Gosh, my mind is not really hitting this week. Oh yeah, and speaking of, Dogma got a re-release on 4K this past week, which was great. And one I was even very, very tempted on, but I have no money, was Azumanga getting a Blu-ray release. I mean, that's an excellent one. I mean, this week, the big one was Pee-wee's Big Adventure hitting Criterion, of course. And, of course, you got the Turtles trilogy. You've got David Byrne's American Utopia. Okay, I have looked through that. The Complete Monk series, which Kino is releasing that. That might be one that you would be interested in. Talk about Space Saver.
Which one?
Monk. Complete.
They're doing the complete. Yeah. Well, I have the complete series on DVD, so I don't know if it'll be a lot of a Space Saver, but yeah.
The only thing that'll hit me monetarily will be Konosuba 3. Because I'll probably try to get it once I have the money to get it, because it's...
I was tempted. And also the Mega Man prequel series? Is it
Explosion, all that? Yeah. That one was sale.
I almost ordered it. Maybe soon. But Konosuba's fun.
Yeah, the Mega Man series, I liked about half of it. So I can't...
Yeah.
But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all have a pleasant week before the big... Actually, I hope y'all have a pleasant Hanukkah week.
Yeah.
This is Hanukkah week. And, of course, a big preparation for the big week next week.
Mm-hmm.
I know for us, we're all happy because we actually get Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off.
Yeah.
Nice. Which is a nice little bonus there.
Yeah.
So I guess, we'll end this by saying something very profound.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Yeah.
See you on the next one.
Hi.
SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin! SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming